Hello. Today I'm reading the second chapter of Stick Dog Tries to Take the Donuts. The chapter 2 is called Mr. Dump Truck. They raced to the top of the tallest hill in Picasso Park to listen. They heard the sound again. Bash clang! I don't know what that was, Poo Poo answered, and tilted his head towards the southwest where the sound came from. But it's coming from the northeast, over by that old apple orchard. Ugh, I can't stand that place, growled Stripes instantly. She had a cross look on her face. Karen, Mutt, and Poo Poo all bared their teeth with a little and began growling. The old apple orchard was a torturous place for them. There were only a couple of dozen trees in it, and they had not been tended to for a long, long time. Years ago, a new blacktop road was built through the middle of the orchard, and the owner had abandoned it. In the late spring, the trees would burst to life with white and yellow blossoms. In the late summer and early autumn, right about this time of the year, great red apples would grow to full ripeness. They looked delicious, and they smelled delicious, and the dogs could not get them. Raccoons could get them. Birds could get them. Bees and other insects could get to them. And much to Poo Poo's chagrin, the squirrels could get them too, but the dogs could not. They avoided the area entirely at this year, to be so close to something so delicious, especially when they're often so hungry. It was just too much to take. Let's stop thinking about food for a little while and follow that strange sound, Stick Dog suggested in an attempt to change the subject. If we obsess about our hunger too much, then it'll just grow more severe. Sometimes I think it's better to put an idea aside for a while. Just ignore it. Then after we investigate that sound, we'll have clearer minds and we'll be able to think of a solution. Stripes sighed and then spoke. That's the nuttiest thing I've ever heard, she said, and shook her head slowly back and forth. You mean we'll find food by trying not to find food? I mean, Stick Dog, that's a pretty crazy idea for even you. That's not quite what Stick Dog began to explain, but he couldn't finish. Stripes continued through her thought even louder. Old Stick Dog is off on one of his fantasy worlds again, she said. She wasn't just speaking loudly now, she was exaggerating or something. The words sort of stretched out when she said them. Sorry, I need to interrupt here. You remember that I'm allowed to take a break from the story sometimes, right? That's sort of our agreement. Oh, and you're not allowed to complain about the pictures. I'm a pretty bad drawer, but you can't bug me about it. That's part of our agreement, too. Anyway, this thing Stripes is doing with her voice is super annoying, don't you think? You know who does it at my school? My gym teacher, Mr. Pumpchuck. That's his real name. We're not kidding. We call him Mr. Jump Duck because he's big, slow, and intimidating. Whenever it's my thing to do something, climb the rope to the ceiling, throw the dodgeball, shoot a free throw, whatever, he always makes a big announcement about it. It's how he ridicules my athletic skills. He thinks that is funny. He does it like this. Here comes T-O-M, he yells. He stretches out all the words in syllables. The fabulous macho total athlete Tom. So by stretching out his words like that, Mr. Jump Luck is really telling my whole class that I'm not fabulous, macho, or totally athletic. Here's the worst part. Because it makes such a huge deal about it being my turn, it makes me extra nervous and jittery because I know that everybody is watching. And that makes me even less fabulous, macho, and athletic. He did it yesterday in dodgeball. You know what dodgeball is, right? In case you don't, I'll sum it up for you. Dodgeball is where a bunch of people run around in gym and throw things at each other as hard as they can. The more injuries, the better. Mr. Dump Truck loves dodgeball. During yesterday's dodgeball game, he talked into the end of a baseball like it was a microphone and he was a sports commentator. "Here comes a throw by the amazing, super amazing Tom," he announced. Then I threw the ball and missed my target, Max Munson, about 30 feet. "Oh no," Mr. Dump Truck announced. "So close, Tom." "Nice, right? You know who invented dodgeball?" "I do. Caveman. I'm sure of it." So I know what Stick Dog is going through as he's listening to Stripes, and to be honest, he deals with Stripes better than I deal with Mr. Dump Truck. I could actually learn a lot from Stick Dog, actually. Stripes continued. "Stick Dog's living in a magical place where food appears out of nowhere. It's a special place filled with rainbows and unicorns and puffy clouds." Stick Dog smiled and said, "No, that's not what—" "I mean, really, Stick Dog," Stripes went down. "I'm surprised at you. We worked together to find food so long now, and it seems like Mutt, Karen, Poo Poo, and I are always come up with finding solutions, and now we need to do it again. You just go on living that fantasy land to eat, right, guys?" At this, Stripes looked around at the others. They are not listening. Poo Poo had fallen asleep in the shade of a big willow tree. Karen was chasing her tail and not catching it. Mutt had managed to chew and swallow the pointer finger of that old glove and now worked on the pinky. Stripes didn't care that her friends were not paying attention. "Stick Dog, don't you see? We have to be on a constant search for food," she continued in earnest. "We need total concentration all the time. We can't let one thing enter our minds. That's the only way to survive. Complete, total, and focus." "I understand, Stripes. I really do," Stick Dog answered when he got the chance. "But maybe if we—" "There is no maybe!" Stripes yelled. "Total concentration. Total focus. Total commitment. Total bash clang." The metallic sound echoed in the air again. "What was that?" Stripes screamed. Her head snapped back and forth to identify the location of the sound. Poo Poo woke up. Karen stopped chasing her tail. Mutt stood up and took the old glove back into his fur for later chewing satisfaction. "We have to investigate," Stripes said urgently. "But what about searching for food for—" Stick Dog began to ask, but he couldn't finish his question. "Searching, smirching," Stripes said. "Don't you want to go and find out what that is?" Stick Dog smiled. He answered, "Totally," and off they went. That is the second chapter of Stick Dog Tries to Take the Donuts. Goodbye, and I hope you had fun listening to this book with me. Bye.